Well, there is something brewing. Hello, my real lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. So today it's a beautiful sunny day here in the UK. I'm really enjoying the garden. But this morning, when I was in the shower, it's the best place to do your thinking. What do you think? When I'm in the shower, I always do my best thinking, and I can often find myself underneath the rainfall shower, soaping myself up in an array of suds, thinking about the royal family. Yes, I definitely won't be dropping my soap for Megsy baby. Yeah, so I do often do a lot of my thinking in the shower, and it got me thinking. And I've mentioned this a couple of times in videos over the past month or so, that I think that something is brewing. There's something under the surface rumbling, and I can't seem to shake it. It's with me almost all day, every day. Yes, I am really that much of a royal nerd. And I keep thinking, what is it? There's something... It's definitely to do with Christmas. We have had... It's almost like there's been a sea change with the media. Even the Daily Mail, who is normally completely anti Harry and Meghan, have started publishing articles written by royal commentators, written by Bryony Gordon, for example, and a few others, talking about reconciliation, talking about Harry's sort of way back in. There was an article the other day about who in the royal family is most likely to forgive and reconcile with Harry. They even rated it on a scale of 1 to 5. With William, by the way, I think he came out a 1. With like King Charles being 4 or 5. And I think it said that Camilla would go with whatever the king decided. I'm not quite sure about that. I think that is a little bit fantasy land. I don't quite know how they would know how individual royals would react to Harry. However, there is definitely something brewing. There's been talk about Charles having spiritual guidance, urging him to forgive. And I think it's very important not to forget when you forgive, if you do want to forgive. But we have to remember as royal watchers that we are watching a family. We are watching an institution. We are watching the monarchy. There are a lot of very different, non-typical things going on here. So sometimes we try and judge we try and hold to account or judge the royal family in the same way that we would conduct ourselves in our family. And it doesn't quite work that way because, we don't often have to deal with the press. We don't often have to deal with hereditary monarchy in the family. It's very, very different. We don't have this symbiotic relationship with the media and the press. I mean, even celebrities don't have it to the same degree that the royal family do. And of course, Harry and Meghan have found themselves in that very weird place outside of the royal working family, but still being royal, but also being viewed and judged as celebrities. It all gets a little bit murky. So we have to be careful not to judge the royal family by how we would necessarily conduct ourselves. There has to be a little bit of that, but we have to remember that they are different. They do lead different lives. They're all human. We are all human, and we all have human emotions and thoughts and opinions, but it is a different situation. It's a completely different scenario. And I just can't shake off the thought that the king and the queen are going to invite the Sussexes for Christmas, to go to Sandringham for Christmas. And I know a lot of viewers on this channel will be screaming, "No, don't do it. Don't do it." They've been evil. They've been absolutely evil, Harry and Meghan, with what they did when the Queen was passing away, when the Duke of Edinburgh was passing away, trying to derail his own father's reign. I mean, it's just abysmal, appalling behaviour. But I think there is a possibility, whether we like it or not, that this might happen. I would urge King Charles extreme caution, but I think it's getting to the point where there is an impasse. There's only so much that Harry can do, and the further that Harry moves away, if you like, from the royal family fold. And of course, we're talking time as well. So the longer that time goes on, the more distant, the more irrelevant he becomes, the more obscure he becomes. Even though he's still high profile in the celebrity world, in terms of relevance to the royal family, he is dwindling. That is dwindling, and that must completely rankle with him. And in a weird kind of way, must also rankle with Markle too, because she likes to be the big I am, doesn't she? And of course, their ability to power their own careers off the back of the royals diminishes with every passing year, because they are viewed as being further away from that royal magic, that royal sparkle, which is why brands, top brands, are not toppling over themselves and fighting to get Harry and Meghan on board, which is why Meghan is having to deal with startup brands, her investment portfolio, because no big top brands will risk working with them. They are divisive figures, and that is how they have managed their own PR. Their own words, actions and deeds have brought them to this level. Brands won't touch them with a barge pole. You don't see, Rolex or Balenciaga or fashion houses or even, or even, I don't know, Dollar Tree or something in the US. What's it called? Dollar Tree? Dollarland? I don't know. You don't even see anything. Big brands are just staying away from Harry and Meghan because they like the celebrities that they work with to be experts in the field, well known, or unlikable. They have to be likable by a vast majority of people. They have to appeal to a wide audience. Harry and Meghan are divisive figures. That's how they are seen. Netflix, they are just trying to damage limitation. Netflix want to recoup whatever they can out of Harry and Meghan. And of course, Netflix is doing all the donkey work. Archewell Productions, it's just lip service. They're just putting their name to it. Everything's being made and produced technically by Netflix because Harry and Meghan don't have the skills to produce. I mean, they couldn't even produce a bowl of cornflakes. I mean, she's probably toe squishing and hand squishing her jam. That's about as much as she can produce. And that's not going exactly swimmingly, is it? So Netflix is going to fail. 2025, they are going to be dropped like a hot potato. So Harry's trying to wheedle his way back in. And I think, like I say, there is this impasse. When you've got two sides that have almost done what they can, and of course the royal family have sort of kept this kind of silence, dignified silence. Yes, there's been a few press releases to counteract some of the Sussex attacks, which you can't fault the royal family for doing that. I still think they fall into the realm of never complain, never explain, because they haven't necessarily completely counteracted all of the allegations and accusations being fired across the ocean from Montecito. So, but they have corrected, via other routes, a few different things and sort of clarified things. Just so we, the public, do not get completely the wrong idea. And that Harry and Meghan thought that they'd be able to wear everyone down by only having their version of events out there, because they knew that the royal family wouldn't have that level of response, if you like. So it's all very calculated from Harry and Meghan's part, but it's running out. This is what I'm trying to get at in a very long-winded way. Harry and Meghan's ammunition is running low, and they know that every time they fire a bombardment across the ocean, that it's like a boomerang. It's boomeranging back, hitting them in the face and damaging their PR even more. So they're trying to get there. I spoke about this in the previous video. They're trying to get their friends to say nice things about them. Bryony Gordon. I'm going to read a story in a moment where Nacho said something about Harry for his birthday. We're having all the birthday bollocks, basically. All the birthday arse licking. I think that's what I called one of my other videos, because that is what we are seeing, arse licking. To the nth degree, because they're trying now to put out positive vibes, trying to counteract all the bad things and the bad and negative PR that they have put out themselves by their own actions, words and deeds. And it's not washing with the vast majority of people. There was a poll. I think it was a poll conducted by the Times newspaper from overseas people, I think. I think that was the audience. And apparently Harry is ranking higher than the king. Oh, I'd love to know which areas and regions and people they actually asked for that one. Because certainly in the UK, Harry, in all the polls, is coming out down the bottom. But this, that poll might be something that Harry and the Sussex squad, take on board, because they like to look for negative stories about themselves, but they also really sort of fluff up the positive stories about them as well. So I think they will be quite buoyed by that poll. But I think on the ground in the UK, we know that Harry is viewed like dirt, basically. His name is in the mud. So a return for Harry would take a lot of work and a lot of PR. And I just feel that potentially might start at Christmas. In the same kind of way that Andrew is part of the family, involved in family events, but not a working royal. And I'm not quite sure the king is on the level of asking Harry back to do royal duties, but having him there at family occasions, Trooping the Colour, Sandringham Christmas, Balmoral for the summer, being seen in the car at church, that kind of thing, potentially could be on the cards. And let's not forget, Frogmore Cottage is still vacant, almost as if it's being kept available just in case Harry and Meghan should wish to return. What do I think should happen with... Let's just say that Harry does return to the UK and they sort of split their time between California and the UK. I don't know what's going to be on the cards in terms of titles. The royal family could go down the route, although I think they've almost missed their opportunity. It still could be done, but perhaps they should have, completely permanently stripped Meghan's HRH, in the same kind of way that Wallis never received it in the first place, if that makes sense. So if ever there was a time when Harry did return to some kind of royal duty, perhaps Harry would be allowed to reuse his HRH and then Meghan not allowed to use hers, which would be a complete slap in the face for the monster of Montecito. I don't know how this is going to play out. This is where the name Royal Watcher comes into play, because we really are watching and waiting. A lot of royal watching is about waiting to see what exactly happens. We can hypothesize and we can predict as much as we want to, and we can often make quite good predictions based on the things that we see and the things that we hear, information that's coming out. But I think it's important to note that the press, there seems to be a seed change. They are now almost reporting about reconciliation. It's all about this, it's all about that. And let's not forget, the press like to make money. They like stories. They build celebrities up in the UK and royals, and then they like to knock them down. Are we seeing the building back up, ready to knock them down again? I don't know. I just think that the press kind of almost think that, all these negative stories, perhaps it's run its course, and now they are ready to, have a different narrative. I don't know, but I just sense that there's something brewing. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that I think Harry and Meghan are probably going to receive an invitation from the king for Christmas. I don't know if Harry and Meghan are going to accept it. I imagine if they are invited, with all the talk that's going on, I think they will accept it, and I'm going to predict that we will see them on Christmas morning. I mean, it will rankle. It will, stab many people through the hearts to see that, to see them parading themselves and see Megsy baby strutting her stuff with those. Probably she'll have a camel-coloured coat on, won't she, with those chicken legs poking out at the bottom. It will rankle, but I've just got a gut feeling that is where we are heading. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about that, because I'm really interested to see what you guys have got to say. The next story I'm moving on is, of course, about Harry and Meghan. They've been out recently. I think it was a charity tennis match. And, of course, the cause of the tennis match is really endearing. A 9-year-old boy lost his life. So it's all in aid of charity. So that bit, I am not going to attack, my loves. I think anything to help people is a really good thing. Yesterday, Nacho Figueres, I'm not sure if I pronounced that quite right, let's just call him Nacho the Arslicker, dubbed Harry his brother. Oh my goodness. In a gushing birthday tribute post, and signed it off with the intimate words, "Love you." Oh my goodness, are they in a three-way? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, he's definitely got the hots, I think, for Megsy baby. I bet she's only got to open those legs kind of Basic Instinct style, hasn't she? And he's wrapped around her big bunion. And he's not the only one forming family-like bonds with Harry, the article continues. With the royal also gaining a surrogate, in quotes, father, a second mother, and a fairy godmother. Oh my goodness. So, the brother is supposed to be Nacho. Yes, Nacho dubbed Harry his brother in a gushy... Oh, it's quite sickly, isn't it? So, Megsy baby wore £30,000 worth of clothes and jewellery at an LA charity tennis tournament slightly before Prince Harry's 40th birthday. Apparently, it was classed as a tailored, sleeveless, halter-neck Edda dress from luxury Italian brand I can't even pronounce it. It sounds like some sort of gelato. Heritage, priced at £1,050. Apparently, it's timeless. Well, not when she's wearing it. And tailored. I mean, it's been constructed. I wouldn't quite say it's tailored to her body because it's still baggy and wrinkled. My goodness, and she's still got... Oh, she loves her legs, doesn't she? Oh, she loves those legs. Look at them poking out, those knobbly knees and those bunion toes. I'm just zooming in on her feet. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's a jump scare. Has she got a bunion? I think she has got bunions. Those toes look always squished up, don't they? I bet she's got a whole stick of lard and she's larded up her legs because she thinks they're a really good... She loves the clavicles as well, doesn't she? My goodness. Hair's down, baggy. I mean, it looks like she's got a brown paper bag, cut some arms in it, and she's worn that. She may as well have worn a paper bag. It would still look just as terrible. Oh yeah, that dress. It looks a bit weird, doesn't it? Anyway, she was out and about. I can't be bothered to read the actual article, to be quite honest. It's really boring. Harry and Meghan are getting to the point now where I'm interested to see what's happening with like their position, in the royal fold and sort of what's going on that way. But in terms of their engagements and things that they do, if you can call them engagements, it's more like just an appearance, isn't it, really? I've lost so much interest. Not that I had much. Once they stepped back, that was when I kind of lost a lot of interest in them. Like I say, I'm interested in what's going on with how they are received in the royal family. Interested in that, but I am not interested in any of their projects and their engagements and her jam and Spare and anything they produce on Netflix. I'm just not, my loves. Anyway, I'm going. She looks a mess is all we need to know. And what's Harry wearing? Just so I can say, jeans, wrinkled t-shirt, jacket, smug grin, hand in pocket. I don't think he's got his hair fibres in today. Anyway, I'm off, my loves. Let me know what you think about her wrinkled baggy dress. So until next time, mwah to you all, my lovies, and goodbye.